Chemistry.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will be presenting to you our third lecture, an introduction to the periodic table of elements. The periodic table of elements is a structured tabular arrangement of the chemical elements, primarily organized by their atomic number, electron configuration, and resulting recurrent chemical properties, a phenomenon known as the periodic law. Now let's start off with the name. The periodic table contains 118 elements with names like hydrogen, helium, lithium, and carbon for the first few. Examples of other elements include oxygen, neon, sodium, and iron. The full list can be found alphabetically or in chart form on the periodic table itself. Now let's move on to the symbol. The symbol on the periodic table is a unique one or two letter abbreviation derived from its name, often from English but sometimes from its Latin or Greek name. The first letter is always capitalized, and if there is a second letter, it is in lowercase. For example, hydrogen is H, helium is H with a lowercase e, and iron is Fe, from the Latin word ferrum. Now let's move on to the atomic number. In the periodic table of elements, the atomic number is located at the upper left of the element. In the middle is the letter symbol for the element, example being oxygen, which is O. The atomic mass. The atomic mass on the periodic table is the weighted average mass of an element's naturally occurring isotopes. Measured in unified atomic mass units, it is calculated by averaging the masses of all the element's isotopes. Considering how abundant each isotope is, this average mass reflects the combined mass of protons and neutrons in the nucleus and is not a whole number for most elements. Now let's move on to the periods. The rows of the periodic table are called periods. Each period is numbered from 1 to 7, with the period number increasing by 1 for each new row from top to bottom. Elements within the same period share the same number of electron shells or orbitals, and the properties of the elements change as they move from left to right across the row. Move on to the horizontal and vertical rows. Periods are the horizontal rows on the periodic table. It is read from left to right. The vertical columns are called groups or families. There are 18 groups. Elements in the same group tend to have similar chemical properties because they share the same number of valence electrons or the electrons in the outermost shell. As you can see from this figure, the groups are identified horizontally and the periods are identified vertically. Now on to the number of electron shells. All elements in a given period have the same number of electron shells. Period 1 has 1 orbital, period 2 has 2, and so on and so forth. As you can see from this figure, this is clearly numbered. Now for the increasing atomic number. Moving across a period, the atomic number of the elements increases by 1 for each element, indicating an increase in the number of protons and electrons. As you can see from the figure, from 1, which is hydrogen, all the way to 2, which is helium, and it goes on, so forth, and is numbered from left to right horizontally in a increasing matter. A classification. Elements are broadly classified into metals, typically on the left, nonmetals on the right, and metalloids, or the semi-metals along a zigzag line between the two. Let's move on to the figure for the classification of the elements on the periodic table. Metals make up the majority of the elements and are typically found on the left and center of the periodic table. Non-metals are located on the right side of the periodic table. They usually exist as gases or brittle solids and are poor conductors of heat and electricity. As for the metalloids, they form a small group of elements that lie along the zigzag line, separating the metals and the non-metals. For our last note, on the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That is all, and thank you for listening.